So like many people, middle school was awful for me. I was the youngest kid in my class. I was a late bloomer, and those are things that make you a target. Plus, I was smart, and there's nothing middle school kids hate more than a smart kid. On top of all of that, my dad was in graduate school, so he wasn't home. So it was just me and my mom all the time. And luckily, the Pittsburgh Pirates. You see, in 1990, the Pittsburgh Pirates had a very good baseball team. They were led by a couple of up-and-coming superstars with nice alliterative names, Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonilla. And just to round it out perfectly, there were a bunch of other players on the team who had B's in their names as well. Stan Belinda, Jay Bell, Sid fucking Bream. We'll talk about him more later. But anyway, in 1990, the Pirates were good, and it was great. They won their division. They went to the National League Championship Series, and they played the Cincinnati Reds. And they lost 4-2. But it was okay because it felt like it was the beginning of something. And my mom comforted me. I was 12 at the time, I think, by saying, next time we'll get them. Next year is the year the Pirates are going to win the World Series. And so next year comes along, and now it's in 1991. And sure enough, the Pirates are even better. They have the best record in the National League. They're fun to watch. And that was our summer of baseball. Now, this was before you had highlights at when you picked up your phone. So every morning, my mom and I would start our day by reading the newspaper, and we'd read the articles from the sports section about what happened in the Pirates game the night before. And, we'd compare stats. And a great thing about baseball is there's a connective tissue that runs through generations. So I would talk about Barry Bonds, and my mom would talk about Willie Stargell. And she would tell me about my grandfather talking about Roberto Clemente. And it was just really a special thing. And then one really, probably my proudest accomplishment as a child was I taught my mom, who at the time was probably in her 40s, how to catch a baseball. So we would go in the backyard and play catch with mitts, and the metronome sound of a baseball hitting leather carried us through many, many conversations. So the Pirates were great that year. They get to the National League Championship Series. They play the Atlanta Braves. And the Atlanta Braves had a legendary pitching staff even at that time. It was Glavine and Maddox and frickin' John Smiley. And the gist of the story is the Pirates lost 4-3. Still, it's okay. The core of the team is coming back next year. Next time, the Pirates are going to win the World Series. Next year, they're going to win the World Series. So 1992 comes along. Bobby Bonilla is gone from free agency. Sid fucking Bream is gone from free agency. But the Pirates still win the division. They're still great. Barry Bonds wins his third MVP. We go to the playoffs, National League Championship Series. And Atlanta is smoking us. They're up 3-1 in the series. It looks like it's all over. And the Pirates win the next two games by a combined score of 22-4. So it goes to game 7. Doug Drabek on the mound against Tom Glavine, and he throws a gem. 8 innings, 5 hits, shutout ball. Goes to the bottom of the 9th. The Pirates are up 2-0. It's in Atlanta. And Terry Pendleton comes up, and he gets a leadoff double. And then David Justice comes up, and he hits a routine ground ball to Chico Lind, the shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who won the Gold Glove for being the best defensive shortstop in the league that year. Inexplicably, he commits an error. Things start to unravel. It gets worse. Fast forward to the score's 2-1 Pittsburgh. Bases loaded, 2 out. Up comes this pinch hitter nobody's ever heard of named Francisco Cabrera. You don't know him. I know him because he ruined my childhood, but you don't know him. His name is Francisco Cabrera, and he lines a ball into the foul, lines a ball foul, and just rips it. And I'll never forget the announcer said, "That's right in Cabrera's wheelhouse. You don't want to throw it right there." Next pitch, right in Cabrera's wheelhouse. Hits a line drive base hit into left field. Barry Bonds is playing a couple steps too deep. Charges the ball, ends up having to make an off-balance throw home. Still, he should be able to get him because Barry Bonds at the time is a Gold Glove left fielder. And the guy rounding third base is Sid fucking Bream, the slowest player in the major leagues. He's had 6 reconstructive surgeries on his knees. There's no way he's going to beat this throw. But the throw's offline. Spanky Lavalier grabs his mitt, swipes it across the plate, and somehow Sid fucking Bream beats it by an inch and a half. And it's over. And I go upstairs, and I'm just distraught, just crying hysterically. But I'm not crying because the Pirates lost. I'm crying because I know there's no next time. I know the team is going to be disassembled. I know Barry Bonds is going to leave in free agency. I know Doug Drabeck's going to leave in free agency. And I know, most importantly, that my life is over as I knew it. I'm not a kid anymore. I was a freshman in high school. I was 14. All of a sudden, girls and friends became more important than some baseball players I never met. But for those 3 special summers, Pittsburgh Pirates were the most important thing in the world to me. And they lost for the next 20 years. And then the last time that I cried about sports was in 2013 when they won the National League wild card game. So hope springs eternal.